Hey folks, I'm getting word that I'm ready. I'm ready. Am I live? Is this real? Is this the real epidemic? I think this is the real epidemic. Okay folks, I'm PMC Trilogy. This is Epidemic for PlayStation 1. If you are from Europe, or if you're from Europe or Japan, you would better know this game as Kileak 2. The Blood, Reason, and Madness. Unfortunately, the North American title for this game is garbage, and I apologize for that. This is a game made by Genki. Genki made a bunch of really jank games from this era. They also made some racing games and other stuff. But we're going to do an 80% speedrun. As far as I know, I'm the only person who's done this. So this is one of those real obscure Johns. I will be giving a countdown as soon as I get to the title screen here. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so this is a mech game. This is a first-person shooter mech game for the good old PlayStation 1. So that means it's got PlayStation 1 controls. Left and right, turn left and right. On the D-pad, that is. L1, R1, do strafing. And you can hit X to boost. You can press up on the D-pad to go forward, back on the D-pad to go back. This mission is divided into 7 games. I mean, it's 7. This game is divided into 7 missions. You just reverse words, they're all fine. Most of the missions are pretty short, and we'll have some longer ones. Basically, we'll have to deal with some puzzles. This game is really kind of a first-person exploration game. So it's a pretty wacky creature. And I'll be setting up things as I go along so that we can pretty much get through things immediately. For example, here, I'm going to turn all these switches to green because you need the green switches in order to proceed. And then I'm going to go pick up the blue key card. Also, all the other key cards in this level either get you optional power-ups or get you information, but we don't need information because the stuff that we need to learn is all hard-coded. Alright, take that guy down with missiles. Grab the blue key card, which we do need the blue key card because we need the blue key card to get the master card. And the master card is everywhere that we want to be. So as I said, this is a pretty obscure game. And apparently the sound, like the review of the soundtrack in Gaming Press in like 1996 was that the soundtrack is like Brian Eno on Valium. Anyway, so we're gonna hit this twice. Oh no, we're gonna hit it once. Whoopsies. Once for 69, 3 times for a comb, and then twice for sperm. I'm told those are all zodiac symbols, but I am way too uncultured for zodiac symbols. Anyway, we need that card because that card's gonna allow us to proceed. If we try to go to the next room without it, we would fail. The reason we came to this information center is that we need to learn where the cure to the plague is, and apparently it's in Satavisa, so we're gonna leave. Cool. So that's the first level. An interesting thing about this game is that for the controls for looking up and down, to look up, you have to hit L1 and R1 at the same time, and to look down, you have to hit L2 and R2 at the same time. So pretty cool, right? Like that's totally normal. Totally normal. PS1 controls. Don't worry about it. All right, so here we're gonna follow the water, and the water will take us to where we need to go, which is the boss fight. I mean, the controls aren't that bad. They are not the worst controls. The worst controls that I've encountered on PS1 are probably the Crazy Ivan controls. With the Crazy Ivan controls, you can't hold down L2, R2 to strafe. You have to, you have to mash it. A word about these cutscenes in the middle of missions. So most of the cutscenes at the beginning and ending of missions I skip with start. Pretty normal, right? but the the cutscenes that are in the middle of missions can't be skipped with start. Instead, you have to skip them by holding down select and circle at the same time.
Police surveillance robot.
I want to say thank God I read the manual before I played this game, or otherwise the speedrun would be like 10 minutes longer for no reason. So I don't think I ever would have guessed select plus circle.
Police surveillance robot. Equipped with laser weaponry.
So right now we're going to get the flower that cures the plague for our girlfriend.
TA6.
This next boss we're going to use the machine gun on. Because the machine gun will actually hit him where he has to be hurt.
Analysis.
And he's pretty easy once you actually target him. You try to do that fight with missiles, it's really slow. That's Jim. Jim is really angry and old. He has like a cyborg eye. It's pretty cool. This game has pretty funny CGI cutscenes. If you do look up one thing about this game, it might be worth looking up the cutscenes. That's true of a lot of early PlayStation 1 games, to be honest. They're not necessarily worth playing, but the cutscenes are good. This one is worth playing though. There's a lot of areas you can explore for like power-ups and other things in this. It's pretty cool. When I was routing this out, I had a lot of fun just filling out the maps, getting full pictures of the maps. All right. So that is the end of level 2, the Satavisa Ruins. Now we're going to return to that level right away because our idiot friend got in trouble again. We have to go rescue him. This is the sequel. This game, I mentioned earlier that the European and Japanese name of this game is Kileak 2. So this game is the sequel to Kileak the DNA Imperative. Well, okay, so the North American title is Kileak the DNA Imperative. It was one of the PlayStation 1 launch games. I think it was called Kileak the Blood in other regions. Oh, this is not right. Wait a second. So. But this does actually continue the plot of Kileak the DNA Imperative. For those of you who are into the lore. Alright, so up here, again, we have to rescue our friend Sanders. Boss is toast. We gotta pick up that missile pod. That's really important for our ammo supplies. So the Sanders is actually piloting the mech from the first game, which is a cool little graphical detail, which is why I brought up the lore. Anyway, we heal our girlfriend, and Sanders is really mad at us because it turns out our girlfriend is the daughter of the bad guy, which I guess makes her complicit in all the bad stuff that he does. So those first 3 levels are pretty straightforward. And now we're on to what I would call probably the second hardest level, the Biflos armory. This one's going to have us doing a bit more back and forth. But we get this music track as a reward.
I made it to the back. I'm going to begin the search and destroy. Check in regularly.
So we're going to be picking up a series of key cards. Classic PlayStation 1. I'll be making efforts here too to pick up extra shield points. So the 3 types of meter that I have there, SP, EP, and HP. SP is shield points. That's my first line of defense. EP is my energy points. I'll be using that up as the thing goes on because I'm constantly boosting, and that uses up EP. And then the last is HP, which is the health of my pilot. And there are certain things that will damage me HP first. They'll just pierce my armor. So I gotta be careful of that too. But like, once I run out of SP, then everything damages HP.
This is Sanders. Do you copy? Looks like some new jamming system just came in. Might use the comlink.
So I took a lot of damage there. Gonna take a second to grab some extra SP.
Repair parts acquired.
This will give me the yellow key card, which is the last key card I need for this floor.
Mrs. Sanders, I'm taking out the jamming system. The comlink has been restored.
Repair parts.
And I gotta go all the way down the opposite end of the hallway. And that'll activate a plot sequence, which will open the big door in the main hallway.
Cartridge acquired.
I'm also hoarding these bullets because these bullets will be used for boss
I
fights
just
later in
opened
the game.
section 1. Now you should be able to get over here. I'm going on down to continue the search.
Do some light strafing to avoid shots. Doing pretty good on health here. I mentioned earlier, EP, there are these charging stations. We'll use these twice in the game. We would not be able to dash all the way to the end if we didn't grab this now.
Once you're out of the elevator, proceed to your left. I think there's a down elevator up ahead.
All right, so now this next floor is just more switch pressing time. We have 4 rooms which are joined by windows, and in each of the 4 rooms there is a switch, and we have to hit it. It's weird that in this level there's a lot more interesting puzzles in all these exterior rooms that aren't part of the central area, but those puzzles are all optional. They're for power-ups and stuff, so we ain't got time for that. We just gotta do simple switch pressing. All right, so now we hit all 4 switches that opened up these doors here that I just passed through. We're in pretty good shape here. We're on full health, which is really nice going into this boss fight. Probably the third hardest of the bosses. Although I did figure out some stuff. I was practicing, of course, for the marathon. Figured out a new way to deal with this boss, which should make him a lot easier.
Analysis unsuccessful.
So this guy has a missile that stuns you, but for whatever reason, if you circle strafe to the left, you should be able to avoid the missiles for the most part. Still got hit with one there, but yeah, there you go. So easy peasy. I only got hit by once. If you weren't circle strafing like that, you'd probably get hit by multiple of those. And yeah, that's that level. So easy peasy out of the Biflos armory. But now we learned that we got an upgraded mech, and one of the characters from the first game is in cyber jail. So we have to go rescue him from cyber jail. That's our next mission. So we got an upgraded mech, which means a bunch of things. It means we have upgraded lasers. We also move faster now, and we do more damage when we collide with enemies.
Equipped with beta weaponry.
You have to hit 2 switches to open up the doors in the microwave room. When I go up to those switches, I'm actually activating landmines that will explode behind me. So I kind of wait for a second before moving forward. You can hear them getting activated and then exploding.
Equipped with beta weaponry.
So the microwave room is this one here. I call it the microwave room because, I don't know, it's red and glowing, and it actually drains your HP when you stand in it. So you'll notice I lost a few points of HP. Lose a few more when I'm standing in the room. And that's the first floor. All right, so now we got more switches. We're gonna hit this 3 times. 2, 3. It's gonna move around a set of doors and allow us to access other switches that we need to use to open the way forward. Hit it once, again, rinse, repeat. Yeah, this is honestly, I think this might be the best PlayStation 1 game from 1996. The first game in the series, so this is Epidemic, also known as Kileak 2. And then Kileak 1 is okay. It's definitely, Kileak 1 is way more rough around the edges than this game. This game is pretty reasonable. This is a time sequence. There is further loot you can get, but we're just going to exit here.
Armored police robot equipped with beta.
Yeah, this game is really fun to explore and fill out the maps and everything. So now we're in the jail, but as it turns out, the Carlos's cell number is hard-coded. So we can just go 886753009, and that's it. So all those red panels above the doors have the codes for opening those cells. But again, we only need to go to Carlos's cell.
Jim, mission accomplished. Carlos is out.
Albert, this is not the time for disruptor talk, please.
Going to try to find you a way out right now.
So this is a little unskippable cutscene.
Damn, that's not it. Okay, here's what I was looking for. Use the elevator just beyond the solitary confinement cell. I can unlock that one from
This
there.
is always the point in the run where you can actually like take a drink. And then the door opens and we're out of that level. I should mention I am playing this indeed on real hardware on a PS2, a 90K PS2 fastest speed. I only recently got the disc. It was 20 bucks on eBay, not too bad. All right, so now this is the penultimate level, the Biflos headquarters, where we're going to stop Biflos himself. But as it turns out, the name of the game is Epidemic, and we have the plague. So we have to go cure ourselves first.
What's that? I'm at Doc's place now with Carlos. What's that?
The headquarters has 3 floors, and so we're going to be going back and forth, up and down. First floor to second floor to get the green key card.
Sal, we've got a problem. Listen to me very carefully. Looks like you've got the symptoms of the Gagari virus. You've been infected when you went above ground and saw
Gonna go all the way across, because we need to find our way to the 3rd floor where the antidote is. Yeah, Fulron. Thanks, Jim. Jim is helping me on commentary here. So now this will take us to the 3rd floor in the area where the antidote is available. If you try to go to the boss without the antidote, you just die. All right, so I need a little help here for this part. I need y'all to remember numbers. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. So these numbers are actually random. I wish they were hard-coded, or there was a way to make them fixed, but I haven't figured it out yet. 3, 4, 5, and 0, 9, 5. 3, 4, 5, 0, 9, 5. Okay. So we need these to open up the room to the antidote.
Masao, this is Carlos. Do you copy? Listen,
So that's the first door.
that plot, Dr.
And then this one, it was 095.
Your father.
Those are pretty bad ones. Ideally, you get... It's kind of like using a rotary phone. Ideally, you want to have 1s and 2s and stuff, so that you have to iterate those less, but... But thank you for the help. I appreciate it, chat. Good job. I'm sure everyone in here totally understands why the rotary phone thing matters and is a useful way of explaining it.
About your father. We were in the thick of battle. That district me from
That's why, like New York is 211 area code, and Philadelphia is 212, so that it'd be easier to dial on a rotary telephone.
Medical kit.
I'm usually not the sort of person who enjoys reaction videos, But I will 100% admit I watched a Kids React to Rotary Phones video, and it was worth it. All right, so now we're making our way to the 3rd floor, but this time we're going to the part of the 3rd floor where the boss is.
KY2613. Heavy artillery assault robot equipped with loudlet weaponry. KY463.
So this little guy is not too hard. He doesn't really offer too much resistance.
And beta weaponry.
Come on. Oh, what? Not what I meant to do. There we go. So he's done. And now we go meet our girlfriend's dad, who is the bad guy who gets killed by the boss on accident. And now we're going to go stop Kileak, who is an ancient alien intelligence that wants to incorporate human life as DNA so that humans can live through DNA forever. Please respect the lore. Thank you. All right, so we got two somewhat easy floors to get through before we get to the last floor, which is like the most important floor. It's really most of the run. All right, time for the world's dumbest puzzle. I have to walk diagonally across 2 tiles here. Ah. Oh, I got it. Okay, cool. I've been trying to figure out a consistent setup for that, and I still have not done it. All right, so here we have a little conveyor belt puzzle. It's a timed thing where we have to hit a switch and then get to a specific door. Oh boy, oh boy. Ah, okay, well, messed it up. This guy got in my way. All right, without the guy in my way, this should be way easier. All right, let's do that again. Okay. I feel like I cheated a little bit there because I must have gotten my hitbox in there. The door like reopened. All right, so now, whoop. Those guys have stun missiles, so I don't want any part of them. All right, I actually have a diagram for this. Oh no. Crap. That's fine. Oh crap. Oh no, I messed it up. Which one? Oh, I missed that one. That's silly. Anyway, it's fine. Little mistake. We got through.
Repair parts acquired.
So now that's going to open up the way to the elevator. These guys are going to be really mad at me, but whatever. They can hold that L. All right, time for the easiest floor in the world, but also the easiest floor to mess up. So there are 4 doors, and I have to open them all at different times. I'm going to hit the green switch once and the blue switch once.
Repair parts acquired.
Oh boy, stun missiles. Stun missiles don't do damage, but you still want to get rid of these guys because you might take damage from other things. All right, so once you hit the green and blue, the east and west doors will open. Gotta hit these. There are interlocking sets of doors that we have to deal with here. It's not fun.
knowledge acquired.
All right, so I'm clearing those enemies, taking the time to do that because we have to backtrack through here a bunch of times, and we'll end up taking a lot of damage. It's safer just to get rid of them. All right, so now that we've hit those 2 switches, we have to hit all 4 colors once. Green, yellow, blue. So while I'm here, I'm actually going to juice up. Because we need to do it at least once. We will 100% run out of juice otherwise. And red. So this is going to open up the north and south doors. We still need to hit these switches for the north and south areas.
Sir, do you copy?
Your opposition is illogical.
And now we're getting to the real switches, which are these 4 locks.
Evidence of one's existence remains forever. Isn't that?
Now, of course, the south door is also open. The north room is the only one that's completely undefended. All the other rooms have enemies in them.
There's been a program that
So again,
the only thing
gotta hit this one first.
Cyrus Adam is himself. Looks like we have no choice but to destroy Cyrus.
And then hit that lock.
Repair parts acquired.
And I'm also gonna grab some shield points in those rooms as well. But now we have to hit all 4 colors again. So, yellow. Green. Red. And blue. All right, so now we gotta go back to the east and west sides. Ah, man. I was hoping to avoid the stun missiles. Yeah, that's a raw deal.
Accessing analysis mode. Analysis.
Okay, cool. So, got out of there. And now we gotta go to the other side and hit the last lock.
Analysis mode. Repair parts acquired.
Again, grabbing shields and then piecing out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. All right, so now on the south side is where the boss will be. This is probably the hardest boss in the game, I think. So I'm gonna try and use some real cheese strats to deal with him, because I want to make this as safe as possible.
Purpose defense equipped with weaponry and laser launcher.
All right, come on, come on. Here we go. So that's ideal to get all those shots in without him doing too much damage. All right, we're gonna grab the shield points, and then we're almost on our way to the final boss here.
Fermion acquired.
The time will end when the game fades to black after killing the boss. Oh wait, I need to. So in order to switch your type of missile, you have to hit select and triangle. So I'm trying to hit these turrets with the missiles. Almost got him. And time. Awesome. Yo, folks, that was Epidemic. That's a super obscure game. I hope you enjoyed. What was the time on that? Oh.
Kileak. So maybe
I actually think that might be a big world record, actually. Yeah, so my PB was like 29:25. So I think we just had a shots fired world record there. So
Let me tell you something.
enjoy that little
The
treat.
only absolute around.
But yeah, that's PMC Trilogy. I'll be back tomorrow with some Armored Core. keep watching the marathon. Resident Evil 5 is next. That game owns. So, thanks again, everyone. Glad you enjoyed.